Good afternoon, graduates, family members, friends, honored guests. Welcome to Convocation at the University of Waterloo. My name is Feridun Hambalapur, and I have the privilege of serving as President and Vice Chancellor of this great university. And it's my privilege to welcome you all to campus for this momentous occasion to celebrate the accomplishments of our soon-to-be graduates. Not quite yet. A few more steps. However, before we start this exciting day of celebration and tradition, it is important to reflect, acknowledge, and pay respect to the neutral Anishinaabe, to the elders, past and present, the neutral Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee peoples. We are gathered today on their traditional territory as the University of Waterloo sits on the Haldimand Tract, the land promised to the Six Nations people along the Grand River. And if you please remain standing while I invite Birgit Mushinski to sing our national anthem.
Our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command, car ton bras s'est porté le pays, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you, Birgit, and please be seated. And it is my honor to invite our Chancellor, Mr. Dominic Barton, to the podium.
Well, welcome. Welcome in particular our graduands and soon-to-be graduates, family, friends, and supporters of the graduands, to the President, the Provost, and also to the faculty. We're looking forward to having a wonderful afternoon celebrating an amazing achievement that you've all accomplished. What I'd like to do over the next little bit is cover three areas. One is to start the celebration. There's going to be many of these as we go through this session today. Secondly, I want to talk a little bit about the context of the world that you are all going to lead us through as graduates with an incredible foundation from this university. What's that going to look like, and what our hopes are to some degree that you might be able to help us with. And then third, talk a little bit about the formalities, the practicalities of what we're gonna go through. So let me start first of all again with the congratulations. If we could all join in congratulating for the first of many times our new graduating class of 2019. And graduates, if you could join me and others in thanking family, friends, and supporters for everything that they've done, not only for the last few years, but for the last many years. So thank you for everything you've done. And I'd also like to send a special thank you to the faculty who've been dedicated, committed, and supporting you through the journey. If we could thank them for everything that they've done in this. So let me just say a couple of words about the context in which you're going to be leading as we leave this room later on. I think that you are going to be leading in one of the most interesting times in human history, at least over a 500-year time frame. There are so many changes that are going on at one time. Each one of them would make this next 20 to 30 years exciting. And you're going to have a bunch of them coming together. You are very much at the forefront of one of the biggest changes, which is the technology disruption that we are in the early stages of. I cannot think of a better background. If I could do my degrees over again 35 years ago, I would have loved to be able to do math. I probably wouldn't have been able to get in, but that's what I would love to do, because it is pervasive to all of the technology disruption that we are seeing, and it's changing every single organization. I think it's actually changing science itself, and we're only in the early stages of that. A second big force that's underway is the shift in economic power, which is happening from the west to the east. Over the last 250 years, the center of the world economically has been in the west. That is changing rapidly, and the time you lead, it will very much be in the east. And I think it's wonderful to see the diversity of the graduates in the Waterloo class who represent the world and a lot as well of the future and where we're going to be. But that's something that's going to be very different from the time frame in which we were all leading. A third big change is demographics. We are going to be the oldest planet that we've ever been in terms of humans. We're going to have more people over the age of 65 than under the age of 14 in 3 years. And as I like to say, as I get older, I think that's not a bad thing. I think old people can provide a lot. We're going to see, by the way, a lot of our honorary doctorates are thriving as they get older. They seem to be able to do more, which is wonderful. But having a much older global population is going to have big implications on things like productivity growth, how we do healthcare, how we do reskilling. It's going to change a lot. It's going to challenge a lot of orthodoxies. And I might point out that China today has 269 million people over the age of 65. Right? And so again, it's wonderful that Waterloo, is one of its many themes, has picked aging. It's an integrative theme. And the fourth force that's going on, which in itself will also make the next 20 to 30 years a disruptive period, is that many, many people in the world, particularly in the West, are upset with the system. They're not happy with how politics works. They're not happy with how capitalism works. There are 500 million people in Western Europe and the North American continent that have had flat to declining income over the last 15 years. And so they're challenging some of the basic assumptions about how our governance works. So you've got all those four factors coming together into a cauldron. I'm an optimist. I think there's going to be many, many opportunities, but it's going to require a lot of leadership. And I think that your experiences, the skills you've learned at Waterloo, the way you think is going to prepare you like no other place. And I say that as an independent person because I never went to Waterloo. As I said, I would never have been able to get in to this place, given all of the high marks you need and dedication and so forth. But I have had the chance to see many Waterloo alumni who are leaders in many different fields around the world interact, shape, and move the system. Most recently, I was at a conference on space. The topic of the conversation is, are we going to have a conflict? Will there be a Cold War in outer space? It got pretty depressing until there was a question from a Waterloo graduate from 25 years ago who basically said, I don't want to talk about that topic. The topic I think we should be talking about is how long is it going to take us before we can get 100,000 people living in outer space? And the first reaction from the group was, this person's from Canada. I know they've liberalized cannabis. What is he on? And then after about 30 minutes, people began to think that that was the much more interesting question, exploration, how we can think about new contexts that we're not in. And that very much, I think, is in the thinking, in the bloodstream, if you will, and in the push and pull of what happens here. So from whom much is given, much is expected as we look ahead. So let me just say a few words about the formalities of what we're going to go through this afternoon. We are going to start by conferring an honorary degree on a very special individual. You're going to hear more about her later on. I'll leave that to the presenter on that case. But this person has made extraordinary contributions to their field, to their community, and also to the university. Then we're going to confer the bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degrees in that order. And the only thing I would add, and I've learned this from the provost, is that let's spend as much time focused on the peoples whose last name begin with Z as those whose begin with A, because this is a special moment. So please don't leave when you're done. We need everyone in this convocation to celebrate together. We're then going to give some awards, one to a faculty member who's excelled in her field. A medal is going to be awarded to an alumnus who's distinguished themselves in their field, and I think it's interesting to see what some alums are doing. So that's kind of the formality. We're also going to hear from the valedictorian, which should be inspiring. And then we will close it off. And I've spent a lot of my life trying to predict the future for leaders. I often get it wrong. I'm going to predict it's going to take us 2 hours. We'll see what happens on that front. But please, again, if we could stay focused as we go through it, that would be great. At any rate, I'd now like to invite Tamer Ozu, who's the university professor, David R. Cheriton School of Computer Science in the Faculty of Mathematics, to the podium to get the show on the way. Thanks very much.
Mr. Chancellor, I present Barbara Liskov. Barbara Liskov earned her BA in mathematics from the University of California, Berkeley, and her PhD in computer science from Stanford University in 1968, making her one of the first women in the United States to earn a doctorate in computer science. Correction, I learned today that she is the first woman in the United States to earn a doctorate in computer science. In 1972, she joined the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, where she progressed through the ranks, holding a number of professorships and being awarded the titles of Institute Professor in 2008 and Emeritus Professor in 2014. Professor Liskov has consistently taken on important problems in computer systems, extracted the intellectual essence, developed elegant abstractions that address the problem, and built influential working systems using those abstractions. Barbara Liskov's research contributions, while seemingly diverse, all contribute to the overall goal of making it easier to build and maintain complex computing systems. Professor Liskov was the first to develop a methodology and practical programming language for organizing programs around data abstractions. This work had a profound influence on the languages we use today, including C++, Java, and Python. More significantly, data abstraction has been generally accepted as the key organizational principle for large software systems. Barbara Liskov's accomplishments have been widely recognized, too widely to list them all here. However, the following deserves special mention. She is an elected member of U.S. National Academy of Engineering, a fellow of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences, and the Charter Fellow of the U.S. National Academy of Inventors. She is a Fellow of the Association for Computing Machinery and has received that association's Turing Award, which is the Nobel Prize in Computing. She is the recipient of honorary degrees from ETH Zurich, Brown University, Northwestern University, University of Lugano, Technical University of Barcelona, and Technical University of Madrid. Mr. Chancellor, in recognition of her outstanding record of research accomplishments, I request that you bestow the title of Doctor of Mathematics honoris causa upon Barbara Liskov.
I'm honored to confer upon you, Barbara Liskov, the degree of Doctor of Mathematics, honoris causa. I extend my sincere congratulations.
I now invite Dr. Liskov to the podium to address Convocation.
I want to start by congratulating the new graduates. It's an exciting day for you, and you are getting your degrees in an extraordinary field, as you heard earlier in this meeting. This is an absolutely amazing time for computer science. So much is happening. There's so much to do. There's so much interesting work that you will be able to do. It wasn't like that when I graduated. I graduated from Berkeley in math in 1961 and got a job as a programmer. And that was the first time I even knew there were computers. There were no computer science programs at that time. You could get a job as a programmer if they thought you could handle the work. I worked in industry for a couple of years, and then I went to graduate school at Stanford, and I did my PhD in AI. After I finished at Stanford, I wasn't able to get a job as a faculty member, but I went back to the first company that hired me as a programmer, this time as a researcher. I switched my field from AI to computer systems at that point. This was a switch I knew I had wanted to do earlier, but I decided to finish my thesis in AI first because it was a faster way to get out of graduate school. I worked as a researcher for 4 years. First, I built a time-sharing system, and then I started working in programming methodology. In 1972, I moved to MIT as a professor. And the reason this move was possible then and hadn't been possible 4 years earlier was because in the United States, something called Title IX had been passed, and that was opening up positions for women. And a few universities were actually interested in pursuing this, and MIT was very interested in doing this, so they recruited me to be on the faculty. When I joined MIT, I was the first woman professor in computer science, and I was the 11th woman faculty member on the faculty out of a faculty of 1,000, so that's how small things were. I continued at MIT doing wonderful, interesting research with my students and my colleagues. That's the glory of MIT. It has wonderful people there, and the students are not the least of the wonders because they are just great to work with. And as I did all this work, I moved around in computer science. I worked in programming methodology, then I worked in programming languages, then I worked into distributed systems, and so I've done a lot of different things during my career. Now, you might wonder why I'm telling you this story, but in fact, it relates to what's going to happen for you. You may think that you understand where you're going with the degrees that you have now, and that does happen for some people. They can sort of foresee when they graduate where they're going to do the rest of their career. But it doesn't happen for that many of us. One thing I've done in my position at MIT is I've talked to lots of what we call the red jacket crowd. These are the people who come back for their 50th reunion. And it's amazing to hear their stories. They almost never end up where you would think they would have when they started. They just did all sorts of things. What happens is opportunities open, doors open, you decide to step through, and then your life changes. And this is likely to happen to you. There will be setbacks, like my not being able to get a faculty position when I finished my PhD, and there will be opportunities, like my finding a job as a computer programmer when I finished my school. So this will happen to you. You will find that there will be opportunities to open, and you will have to decide what to do. Now, when you make those decisions, you should not base them on preconceptions about where you should be going. You should think instead about what am I passionate about, what am I interested in, and what am I good at. because you can't really have a great career unless both those things come together. You can't force yourself to be great at something if you're not, and you need both those things, passion and ability. And where this will work for you, you'll find out as you go through your career. Now, as you are going through your career, I do have a hope for you, and that is that at least some of you will work on what I like to think of as ethical computing. I'm very concerned, and I'm sure you are too, at the many problems that our technology has brought about. I'm thinking here about fake news, online trolls, the dark web, et cetera, et cetera. There are lots of things like this. There's wonderful things, but there also are side effects that are not so great. And many of these things require the legal system to address them. We need to change the laws because things are different now, and it takes a while for the legal system to catch up with new changes like this. But some of them have technological solutions also. And so what I'm hoping for you is that as you go through your career, when it happens that you can do this, think about the ethical issues associated with computing and how technology can help to solve them. So I want to conclude by just offering you best wishes for a wonderful career, a career like I had. I had a lot of fun, and so I hope the same thing for you. Have fun and do good things for people. Thank you.
My name is James Rush, and I'm very proud to serve as the university's Vice President Academic and Provost. And I'm also very proud to thank Dr. Liskoff for her inspiring address and the notion of combining passion and ability in charting your way forward in the world in such an inspirational way. And I'd also like to take the opportunity to welcome formally Dr. Liskoff to the group of Waterloo's distinguished alumni. Would the members of the graduating class please rise? Mr. Chancellor, I present to you those scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of the University that they may be admitted to their various and several degrees.
By the virtue of the authority vested in me and in the university, I hereby admit you to your various and several degrees with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations.
Thank you. Please be seated. Next, it's my pleasure to welcome Jenny Sun to come forward to deliver the valedictory address.
Chancellor Barton, President Himdalapur, Dean Watt, faculty, staff, family, friends, and fellow graduates. Thank you for joining us today for the class of 2019 Faculty of Mathematics Convocation. To our family and friends, thank you for taking the time to celebrate this incredible moment with us. As we move cities between school, co-op, and exchange, no distance has ever kept you from unconditionally supporting us through your love and words of wisdom. To the faculty and staff at the University of Waterloo, thank you for encouraging and guiding us in our pursuit of knowledge. We appreciate the endless hours you all put into hosting office hours, creating lecture content, and answering our questions. We know we don't always express our full gratitude as often as we should, but we could not have become the people we are today without the knowledge that you have shared with us. And finally, to my fellow graduates, class of 2019, we did it. Remember when we were sending each other memes about just trying to pass our courses? Well, you can retire those memes now because that moment has come. Take this second to be proud of your accomplishments and successes. This is an incredible moment in your lives. Like most of you, when I first started university, I was filled with a mix of emotions. We were excited for the new knowledge, opportunities, and relationships that would come our way, but nervous for the challenges and uncertainty we'd have to face. During orientation, I remember standing in front of the large pink tie outside of M3 and being told that this was the beginning of a new journey and that we would achieve great things during our years here at Waterloo. Man, was that really overwhelming to hear. We've all had our moments of doubt where we had no idea where this journey would take us. We had uncertainty about the person we could become and the challenges and the successes that we could achieve. However, as lost as we may have felt, we've somehow navigated ourselves to this crucial point, a point where we are our true, authentic selves. My journey as a computer science student taught me many different lessons that made me a better person. I understood the importance of a united community that worked together to foster a positive environment by being part of the Women in Computer Science Committee. I learned the value of helping others and contributing back to our society by building tech for nonprofit with Blueprint. And I gained perspective on what being passionate about your work truly means by being part of the HCI lab as an undergraduate researcher. Well, my journey is unique to me, just as yours is unique to you. There are a few goals we all had in common. One, trying to wake up in time for those morning or afternoon classes. Two, finding a study spot in DC. Seriously though, how are those tables always taken? Three, trying not to get attacked by geese on our way to class. Four, hoping that the Raptors would win in Game 6, which, spoilers, they did. And five, finding and becoming the best version of ourselves. Becoming our true authentic self is not a trivial task. It is something that happens over a period of time. Experiences like joining a club, participating in hackathon, pulling an all-nighter in MC, or simply standing in line at Bomber for way too long on a Wednesday night have all played a role in creating our unique journey and shaping who we are today. These experiences may have been difficult and challenging, but with the support and guidance of our community on campus, we were able to motivate ourselves to achieve our goals, learn valuable lessons that would inspire our future, and grow into our true, authentic selves. As the years went by, the uncertainty and nervousness we all felt from first year transformed into confidence and passion. Unknowingly, we were getting closer and closer to the person we would become at the end of our degree. In the moment, it didn't feel like we were changing, but with every remarkable accomplishment came a little bit of self-growth. And with every interaction with someone who had inspired us came a little bit of motivation. Today, as I look into the crowd, I see the very best version of all of you. I see innovators, problem solvers, and doers that have indeed achieved great things. I am confident that we'll each take our true authentic self and use it to continuously succeed in the future. As we leave the University of Waterloo today, I want us to think about how far we have each come as individuals and the community on campus that has supported us in doing so. I feel truly blessed to be part of an environment that not only allowed my best authentic self to thrive, but also yours. I hope you all continue to be your best selves as you proudly represent yourself as a University of Waterloo alumni in whatever your journey is from here on. Congratulations again, class of 2019. We did it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jenny, for your address, and for the notion of finding your true authentic self, which I think resonated very well with Dr. Lishkov's comments as well. Must be a timeless concept. Good afternoon once again. Mr. Chancellor, honored guests and participants, we're off to a fantastic start, and it's going to get even better as we move on. Convocation is perhaps the most rewarding occasion in the life of a university. It evokes our ancient rights and privileges. It recognizes significant achievements and accomplishments, and at the same time, it stirs within us a promise of new beginnings. On behalf of the entire University of Waterloo administration team, I'd like to formally thank all of those who have made today possible. Convocation literally means the action of calling people together for a large and formal assembly. So it isn't possible for us to have this convocation if it wasn't for all of you. So to the graduands and to the parents and family and friends and supporters of our graduands, especially those of you who have traveled from afar to be here today, thank you for making this convocation possible. To the university community for developing these scholars and delivering this outstanding event for our new alumni, thank you all for making this possible for our students. And of course, we acknowledge those who have been unable to join us today. Each of us feels their presence as part of this special assembly in our own ways. At this point, I would like to ask the graduands to please remain seated as I invite the parents, the family, the friends, and other supporters and event coordinators to please rise as you are able. And I'd invite the graduands to look around at the standing supporters and parents and family and find your special people, so you know where they are later when you're crossing the stage and you hear cheers and applause. Graduates, would you together help me to thank all of the people who have come together to make your convocation possible? Thank you very much. Please be seated. As we prepare to confer the degrees, I have a couple of technical notes for you. For guests wishing to take photos of your graduates, there's a photography area located to the left of the stage. You can access that area by exiting the back of the gym via the west-hand doors and coming down the hallway to this area. And if you approach that area just before your graduate is about to cross the stage, you'll be in a great position to take pictures of them as they cross the stage. Once you've taken the photos, I'd ask that you just please vacate that area and return to your seats to make room for the next people that come along. And graduates, you will have heard the Chancellor's instructions to please return to your seat till we're complete the festivities for today, and so we can all celebrate together and process out together. Now on to the main event. We're to proceed to the conferring of the degrees, and to that end, I now invite Stephen Watt, Dean of the Faculty of Mathematics, and Laurie Case, Associate Dean, Cooperative Education, Faculty of Mathematics, to announce the graduates' names.
Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Computer Science, University Honours Program. Andrew Au, Jia Ming Bao, Arshan Asmin Bimani. Yanuts Philip Burlaku, Calvin Gonwa Chan, Sunny Yu Yuan Chan. Han Chen, Han Zhang Chen, Qin Wan Chen. Leah Anna Chin Yi, Gerard Zerier Cooper, Shane Robert Creighton Young. Zhao Bo Cui, Nicholas Ivan Javat, Jonathan Donas. Luca Duran, Alan Fan, Shinming Fan. Jingyu Feng, Zhao Hao Feng, Lucas Francisco Frizak. Sean Alexander Galea, Yimu Gao, Elvis Gong. Navitha Govindaraju, Jacob Nicholas Jagowski, Pierre-Louis Georges Valère Guidez. Pei Yao Guo, Run Sheng Guo, Shi Yuan Guo. Gautam Gupta, Miao He, Andrew Su. Shui Ying Hu, Daniel Inglis, Jiao Wei Tai. Aditya Jayaprakash, Suji Jin, Gagan Kao. Jahanzad Khan, Ji Wei Kong, Kushal Kumara Singha. Matthew Kwong, George Crowdy Lambro, Andrew Lau. Ailon Lavi, Cameron Lenius, Zhetao Li. Yi Yun Yang, Shi Yu Liu, Ling Yi Lu. Yi Fan Lu, Hui Ting Hua, Zelin Mao. Vinoth Marutha Lingam, Muhammad Faizan Minhas, Robert George William Nelson. An Huang Dao Nguyen, Hao Yang Pan, Si Yi Pan. Daniel John Rampelt, Cade Michael Robertson, Rostislav Semenov. Andy Yi Jiashang, Meyer Shu, David James Kudra. Tianjian Song, Zheng Song, Zhe Yuan Song. Chen Zheng Su, Ke Fei Su, Koko Subendran. Karam Puneet Singh Talwandi, Vanessa Gi Yao Tong, Daniel Chorny. Jackie Ton, Jane Matthew Tonks, Adrian Tak Phai Tsang. Michelle Vo, Anand Wong, Chun Hao Wong. Wei Liu Wang, Xiao Wei Wang, Yu Wang. Yi Wang, Yue Wang, Zhu Han Wen. Cindy Wu, Manfred Wu, Chan Wu. Richard Wu, Zhenyu Wu, Xinyu Wu. Yifei Shu, Bangding Yang, Hao Wen Yin. Philip Young, Joel Zheng, Xianyuan Zheng. Jiachen Zhang, Shihui Zhang, Yikun Zhang. Yu Zhang, Zhenghan Zhang, Zihao Zhang. Ziqi Zhang, Zijun Zhao, Jiao Ge Zhen. Jerry Jia Yu Zhao, Yue Zhu, Jason Zukovich. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. I now invite Laurie Case, Associate Dean, Cooperative Studies, Faculty of Mathematics, to the podium.
Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Computer Science, University Honors Cooperative Program. Prakhar Adhikari, Javan Michael Ambridge, Panav Anand. Talaman Joshua Richard Bishard, Tiani Ben, Sean Joseph Benoit. Jing Hong Yu Bian, Madeline Roberta Bosch, Fatima Hakumadin Bakswala. John Cottrell Brockway, Scott Christopher Broders, Anthony Stan Calandra. Drini Kami, Ho Yi Eric Chan, Aaron Vincent Chazor. Yi Ping Chu, Abel Ming Hei Chen, Jiang Chen Chen. Ke Shao Chen, Sijia Chen, Xin Yu Chen. Yu Rong Chen, Zhang Chen, Zi Kai Chen. Michael Cheung, Quentin Cheung, Hiai Wan Cho. Titus Ling Chen Chao, Kelvin Chu, Myung Hyun Chun. Elnar Dakashov, Jack Ding, Carl Ding. Zhe Rui Du, Alexander Duong, Maxwell Hans Thomas Elent. Nikita Erikin, Payman Gardada, Christopher Bruce G. Garrett. Gurpreet Singh Gill, Sean Chen Gong, Simon Gong. Jason Levi Goodison, Maya Grab, Chang Hen Gu. Anik Gul, Zain ul Haq, Dylan Michael Lee Held. Julian Helinga, Simon Hiscock Henderson, Benjamin Patrick Hicks. Ryan Ernest Lloyd Hollingshead, David Hong, Tyler David Patrick Horth. Yu Chen Hao, Ming Wei Hu, Xuan Chang Hu. Dion Victor Hua, Bing Ying Huang, Joseph Alexander Indovina. Seung Kyu Hyun, also the recipient of the Jesse W. H. Zoll Memorial Award for Excellence in Undergraduate Research. Ali Shan Jahani, Derek Marvin Jetrel, Ray G. Raymond G. Akil Kamadia, Shreya Sudeep Kasnis. Kyu Hee Kim, Yu Hun Kim, Ling Hao Gong. Daniel Ko, Cora Wing Yin Lam, Quincy Lap Kwan Lam. Aaron Lau, Jaden Edwin Ho Lau, Colin Do Yan Lee. Kevin Stephen Lee, Sung Hyun Lee, Yu Soon Lee. Jasmine Virion Leeson, Anne Lee Lee, Gordon Lee. Ping Da Lee, Meng Fei Lin, Sheng Yuo Lin. Zhe Jian Lin, Victor Ling, David Avram Lipson. Hai Tian Liu, Kun Yang Liu, Gary Liu. Se Hao Liu, Lucas Alexander Lorimer, Pavel Lotsov. Jia Wei Lu, Karen Zi Yi Lu, Benjamin Lu. Jason Lai, Yu Chen Ma, Zihan Ma. Kabit Mahendran, Fahim Mahmood, Mark Norman Mailhot. Talha Ayub Malik, Jack William Maloney, Sebastian Nicholas Moulton. Humble Masood, Patrick James Melanson, Han Wei Meng. Xiao Yang Min, Ryan Zeb Mutaki, Huzaifa Nasser. Amog Nayak, Nerman Nicholas, Victor Joseph O'Brien. Le Yao Oya, Ningshan Ouyang, Eric Shin Chan Pan. Krupan Patel, Ronald Perlas, Su Ming Chi. Yi Fan Chi, Shu Chin, Yaya Rafiev. Noah Daniel Reinhardt, Yu Ren Michael Emil Ross. Sebastian Alexander Ruan, Paul Rudmick, Javier Ruiz Arduengo. Milad Saif, John Victor Salazar, Jashanpreet Singh Santu. Mayer Saxena, Saurabh Segal, Vigneshwaran Senthil. Yash Shah, Rushil Shahani, Abdullah Shahid. Chen Shen, Jimmy Shen, Jing Don Shi. Joshua Winfield Vanderswan Simpson, Parneet Singh, Peter Tevlin Smith. Tyler Nathaniel Stanton, Grant Edgar Stickley, Jenny Sun. Ruatai Sun, Kevin Gaitan Suwala, Shaw Tan. Hao Zhu Tang, Simon Tang, Yoan Dan Tataru. Jeffrey Simon Terry, Christopher Chuan T, John Drew Thompson. Wan Ru Tian, Jonathan Vine, Vincent Wong. Russell Graham Collier Waldman, Samuel Guan Yang Wong, Tan Wong. Jean Wong, Shin Kai Wei, Daniel Joshua Wordsma. Chris Hubert Wismach, David Wu, Hong Kai Wu. Yu Tian Wu, Do Do Shi, Kevin Shing. Ao Tao Shu, Hui Ya Shu, Kevin Chen Shu. Cindy Shin Yi, Andy Zi Jian Yin, Meng Zi Ying. Chung Men Yu, Yi Jun Yuan, Jessica Renata Uwono. Ramin Zarifi, Kylan Zheng, Aaron Zhang. Rui Heng Zhou, Zi Wei Zhao, Hai Yi Zhang. Chang Zhou, David Zhou, Neo Guang Yu Zhu. Wen Qing Zhu. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I now invite Stephen M. Watt, the Dean of the Faculty of Mathematics.
Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Mathematics University Honours Program. Mario Alejandro Acosta, Isaac Jeffrey Broughton, Hong Jin Chen. Hao Nan Guan, Cameron Gonzalez, Ziwen Huang. Jing Hua, Zhang Mingji, Jun Hao Jia. Ji Hun Kang, Kai Thomas Koppanen, Hui Li. Teng Liu, Jiang Tao Lu, Anthony Daniel Francisco Madison. Jared James Parker, Yi Chan, Milap Alap Kumar Seth. Matthew Joseph Kerr Smith, Pei Jun Sun, Zeha Batul Sayed. Phyllis Lapsing Tam, Reino Tilikainen, Yi Fei Wong. Yi Tian Wu, Han Zhen Yang, Yi Nan Ye. Zhang Yuanzhang, Zhu Junzhou. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. I now invite Laurie Case, Associate Dean, Cooperative Education, Faculty of Mathematics, to the podium.
Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Mathematics, University Honors Cooperative Program. Andrew Albert Schur, Zihan Chen, Tianyi Dang. Zhao Qi Fang, Han Di Gao, Yi Shuang Gao. Juliana Havischuk, Ting Han Hu, Chen Liang Huang. Atul Paul Jacob, Connor Frederick Ladley Ferdine, Rachel Lai. Ge Yu Lee, Michael Brock Lee, Chu Jen Lau. Austin Luo, Justin Ka Chung Eng, Chen Jian. Shi Xin Ren, Anthony Sadrin, Jason Schmidt. Su Yi Sun, Ayash Venkatesh, Jia Hao Wang. Arthur Scott Wesley, Yu Tong Wu, Hauza Zhao. Dong Shu, He Qing Yang, Yi Hui Yan. Shu Dong Yang, Jesse Yung, Hee Yung Yu. Hong Bo Zhang, Zhao Ji Zhang, Ji Yang Zhang. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. I now invite Patrick Lamb, Director, Software Engineering Program, to the podium.
Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Software Engineering. Bilal Akhtar, Avneet Kaur Atwal, Jushuk Bang. Szilard Bala, Paul Adrian Bardia, Meet Bavsar. Jean-François Bisson, Tyler Boyd, Evan Chow, Olivia Jashing Chow, Joshua Carnide, Keith James Karskadin, Carl Kazir, Calvin Chan, Judy Chen, Andrew Kodaspodi, Fanny Jiwei Deng, Gregory Desrosiers, Jidenpreet Dodd, Austin Du, Victor Duan, George Gao, Andrew Gapik, Yash Gol, Noah Gold, Lingyung Gua, Jackie Han, Wenting Hu, Calvin Hua, Jeff Hudson, Minyang Zhang, Hanyu Kang, Sadman Kazi, Mitchell Kember, Adam John Klen, Stephen Kong, Harkamal Jot Singh Kumar, Robert Chunyan Lai, Justin Lee, Cynthia Siu Liu, Taimeng Liu, Tian Shang Lu, Brian Lowe, David Law, Abhishek Madan, Julian Madukdok, Michael Marek, Pritham Marupaka. Andrew Robert McBurney. Jason Milasiksik. Jacob Moore. David Pagurek Van Mossel. Nakul Patak. Shan Philim. Jachi Chan. Yan Liang Zan. Saksham Sakdev. Dimitri Sklear. Siyi Shen. Zed Chanar. Ru Chu Shi. Lemon Shou. Michael Soa. Justin Alexander Stribling. Jal Sun. Wojtek Swiderski. Lin Chan. Baiming Wang. Jackie Wang. Samuel Wu. Robin Henning Zhu. Ian Zhang. Jinhao Zhang. Dongyu Zheng. Charles Raymond Zinn, also the recipient of the Sanford Fleming Foundation Medal for Academic Excellence. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. I now invite Christiane Lemieux, Associate Dean, Graduate Studies, Faculty of Mathematics, to the podium.
Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Master of Mathematics. Brandon Kevin Alcox, Anthony Benjamin Armstrong. Kasun Lakita Hiripitiaj, Elahe Yalalpur, Ifaz Kabir. Bailey Kaxmar, Nafsir Kadia Ravida, Shatura Kankanamgi. Sakif Hossein Khan, Thomas Lidbetter, Hyukun Liu. Zeming Liu, Rotang Ma, Nicole Isabel McNabb. Babar Navid Memon, Yosef Musleh, Jose Serna. Maria Cristina Valle Tavares, Kshitiz Thapa, Rafi Shan Turas. Nikita Volodin, Li Wang, Yue Xia. Yu Hao Xie, Wei Yang. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. We will now confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy, the highest academic degree awarded by universities. Attaining a PhD is no easy task. It involves years of hard work, attainment of subject matter expertise, and a contribution to the sum of human knowledge in a subject area through original research. It is an honor to call upon the following graduates to receive the degree Doctor of Philosophy. Matthew Edward Joseph Amy, Computer Science. Jeffrey Avery, Computer Science. Saman Bargi, Computer Science. MD Fezul Bari, Computer Science. Carolyn Lam, Computer Science. Xiaobo Li, Computer Science. Aaron Moss, Computer Science. Ricardo Salman, Computer Science. Dinakaran Vinayaga Morty, Computer Science, Quantum Information. Hao Tian Zhang, Computer Science. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I now request you to confer in absentia the various and several degrees upon those candidates who were approved by Senate but who were unable to be present at today's convocation.
I confer the degrees in absentia.
I now invite James Rush, Vice President, Academic and Provost, to the podium.
The Distinguished Teaching Award was established by the Senate of the University to recognize individuals with a continued record of excellence in teaching at Waterloo. Recipients must be nominated by their students and are selected by a committee consisting of undergraduate and graduate students, alumni, and faculty. Mr. Chancellor, I present Robin Cohen. Robin Cohen is a professor at the Cheriton School of Computer Science who for the past number of years has specialized in teaching the social impacts of computing to senior computer science students. Cohen has facilitated many group discussions with large class sizes and has guided her students through extremely challenging and controversial topics. The dynamic and collaborative learning space that she creates in her classroom is what keeps her students interested and motivated. As a student noted, Cohen's teaching methods proved very helpful in eliminating the sense of isolation in the class and improved their group dynamics. Students greatly appreciate the detailed feedback she provides on assignments, as well as how she relates the course content to their own personal experiences. Cohen, a past recipient of the Faculty of Mathematics Award for Excellence in Teaching, has been described as passionate, knowledgeable, and caring. Both her peers and students recognize the hard work she has done over her many years of teaching. Mr. Chancellor, in recognition of her outstanding achievement in teaching, I ask you to present the Distinguished Teacher Award to Robin Cohen. I now invite David Yak, alumnus, Faculty of Mathematics, to the podium.
J. Wesley Graham, one of the founders of the Faculty of Mathematics, was responsible more than any other person for Waterloo becoming synonymous with computing and computer science throughout the world. He established teams of experts that created software for which the university is renowned. In his honor, in 1994, the university established a J.W. Graham Medal in Computing and Innovation to annually recognize a graduate who exemplifies the qualities shown by Professor Graham. The 2019 recipient of the J.W. Graham Medal is Eldon Sprickerhoff. Eldon graduated from the Faculty of Mathematics with an honors B.Math in computer science and a minor in economics in 1991. He is the original pioneer and inventor of what is now referred to as managed data and response, currently defined as best practice in corporate information security incident response. In 2001, he co-founded eCentire in recognition of the incipient yet rapidly growing demand for a more proactive approach to preventing and investigating information security breaches. As Chief Innovation Officer, Eldon's entrepreneurial spirit and inquisitive nature grew eCentire into a global organization which employs over 425 people, services more than 650 clients in over 40 countries, and protects nearly $6 trillion in assets under management. Holding several security industry certifications and with over 25 years of tactical experience, he is acknowledged as a subject matter expert in information security analysis. J.W. Graham led through an extraordinary mix of innovation and entrepreneurship. Eldon Sprickerhoff exemplifies both of these qualities. He is being recognized today for his innovative and entrepreneurial achievements and his contributions to the field of cybersecurity. Mr. Chancellor, in recognition of his remarkable achievements as a graduate of the Faculty of Mathematics, I request that you present the J.W. Graham Medal in Computing and Innovation to Eldon Wayne Sprickerhoff. I now invite Feridun Hamdalapur, President and Vice Chancellor, to the podium.
Graduates, let us look at you for one more time and congratulate the class of 2019 Faculty of Mathematics. It's been a fabulous, a little long, but great afternoon. I thank you so much for staying here and letting everybody enjoy the convocation ceremony. So many of you were thanked by many others. I'm not going to repeat them, so I am going to only talk about our brand new graduates. And I'm going to just use this much of your time, our time, to thank you for something that you've done, just remarkable things. But remember the day. We remember the orientation day that we were all here in this gymnasium. And I believe among many people, I spoke to you. We reminded you of two things. We thanked you for two things. We said, thank you so much for deciding to go to university. And thank you so much for choosing to come to the University of Waterloo to study. Given your brilliant background, you could have gone to any university. You chose to come here. Of course, you chose the best, but we told you, your brilliance got you in here, but it wouldn't be enough to get you out of here. That it would still require a lot of hard work, dedication, and perseverance. You demonstrated that. I can see many of you, as you were going through your studies, also you were growing as mature individuals. You had a much better understanding of the world, and you had a much deeper understanding of your personal role in this world. You will be doing some absolutely fabulous things, great things. You'll make us very proud. We have no further advice for you. You have it all. On the contrary, we will need your advice as the University of Waterloo will forge ahead and making sure that the ones who are coming after you will find a much better, stronger, richer place than you're leaving. The way we could do this, we will ride on your shoulders. We'll ride on your successes, the things, amazing things that you'll be doing, the amazing things that you told me you will be doing. It's fabulously exciting. On behalf of all of us, I thank you so much for having spent 4, 5, a little bit longer for our PhDs, number of years here at the University of Waterloo. This is where it all started. This is where your roots are. Never forget. Be part of this. Thank you very much. With that, Mr. Chancellor, I'll turn it over to you.
All I have to say is Convocation is adjourned. Congratulations.